Janna Donovan. I'm an anxiety therapist with an MBA and 20 years of business experience, otherwise known as the work stress guru. Today, I want to talk to you about obstacles to taking good advice about work stress. A lot of us know what to do, we just don't feel very motivated to do it. So maybe what we need is less advice and a little bit more motivation. But partly the reason that we are able to take that advice is that we knock down certain obstacles or assumptions we're making. So I wanted to walk through the top 5 pieces of advice and then kind of point out some of the assumptions we make or the ways we dismiss that advice. And then we'll see if that applies to any of us. One of the top ways they say to begin dealing with our long-term work stress is to track the problem. For example, 1 to 2 weeks, write down, feelings, thoughts, and actions that surround work stress and what triggers us the most. To grind our teeth, have stomach aches, migraines, back pain, that kind of thing, irritability and fights at home. Second way was to find a healthy response that works best for us, like exercise, better sleep, less caffeine, a favorite way to have fun, if we still remember how to have fun. A third way was to establish rules that work for us, something like no calls past 6, limiting the time that we read or respond to email in a given time of the day. The fourth one was learn how to disconnect. This is very often recommended, like take time to replenish with zero work, but that also means zero thinking about work, which is one of the harder ones to do. We can be away from it, but we don't stop thinking about it. And that kind of feeds into the next one. The fifth one is learn how to relax and recharge. When you do disconnect, if you ever get the chance, is to get a massage, go for a walk, power down, meditate, learn a way to relax or calm our minds. But a lot of times we aren't able to stop the racing thoughts, as I said, or refill our own gas tank during this time. So the biggest and top objections or sort of dismissals I hear of this good advice come in these next five statements. First one is, I don't have time for that. And the assumption or implication underneath that is, it's really not worth my time. And that's difficult when people struggle with work stress day in and day out. 25% of US workers say it is their number one source of stress, and 50% say they really need to learn how to deal with their work stress. So I get it. When you're stressed, you don't feel like you have time to go to a long-term solution. Second of all, I don't want to talk about it. Underlying assumption or implication is I shouldn't have to talk about it. We really just want it to go away. We want someone to do something that's pretty immediate, and talking about it can be embarrassing and just feel like we're going back over the same things, complaining, focusing on us. That feels dangerous, and we might not think that would be a very good solution. We assume it's not a good solution. Third, they say, a lot of times people will say, I don't think that what you're suggesting would work for me, even though I've never tried it and I have no proof that it would work. We all do that. Fourth one is, I tried it and it didn't help. And the real implication there is, I tried it once and it didn't help. We really want it to help the first time, and meanwhile we've had all of our really sort of pro-anxiety lifestyle and work style. We've had that for years, but we try one time of relaxing or doing something different, and we don't experience the results. So that can be a bummer. Another thing, the final one is, really I get more immediate relief from just going and working more and meeting a deadline, and I really get a lot more immediate relief and results from that. So summed up, these 5 objections and sort of assumptions can be said: I cannot slow down. I have to worry about producing, and especially during this time right now where everyone is afraid for their job, they don't know what's going to happen, is I need to keep pedaling. So even in the best of times, when you're not in this difficult time of a pandemic, we have to weigh these automatic thoughts, and experiment. Is there any benefit to slowing down several times a day? So slowing down can be scary, and there's a lot at stake, and that's why we often, try a lot of other things before we'd ever really come to some of these solutions where we slow down, we talk about it, we write about it, we analyze it, we see what's going on, we try people's advice. People who are a little bit more productive than us say that actually disconnecting and completely getting away from work can actually help us in the long run and have a long-term solution for it. So, excuse me. So anyway, please let me know how you're doing with work stress, and especially, any specific obstacles that you are encountering, and if any of this has helped. If you want to talk with someone about who specializes in anxiety, call, text, or write me. If I'm not licensed in your state, I'll help you find someone who is. So thank you for listening, and I sure hope that you're dealing with your work stress pretty well today. I'm Janna Donovan, www.workstress.guru.